What's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. I'm going to do a detailed HTR Hathor analysis. I'm really going to get into, I'm going to touch on the macro view, but I'm not going to focus on the macro view. I'm going to get into the micro count and show you guys really exactly how I would be trading this thing, or how I am trading this thing from a scalping standpoint on a low time frame. Just to give you guys more of an educational video. And also, if you guys are interested in Hathor, can give you an idea of what to expect and, where to potentially take profits in order to maximize or accumulate more, at lower levels. So guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I do it for entertainment and educational purposes, but let's hop in here real quick. All right, so from a macro standpoint, I view this thing as two different scenarios. And honestly, neither of these two scenarios really affect the micro count that I'm going to go into from a detail standpoint. I'm just going over this real quick, just to explain the two different scenarios that we're looking at. So the first scenario here is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a macro 1 wave. And then this structure here is a macro 2 wave, being a WXY to create your A, and then a B and a C. So this would be a running flat is what that would be. And then us being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to create our 1. So then this green micro 1 would be a micro 1 wave of a macro 3 wave. So regardless of where that macro 3 goes, I'm not going to get into that right now because it's kind of irrelevant to the content that I'm pushing on this particular video. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is, again, this is a macro 1 wave. And then this here is your corrective structure, being a WXY. And then this actually being a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. So two different scenarios. A 1, 2, 1, 2 setup would be indicative of a wave 3 extension. So this kind of 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. So that's there's two different scenarios, but again, neither of those scenarios really affect right now what I'm going to be getting into. So let's hop in on a micro level. So let's start at the 2 hour. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, creating your 1, and then you have your ABC correction down here, creating your 2, your micro 2 of your macro 3, and then you have a 1, and then this is a WXYXZ is the way I'm viewing that 2 wave correction. And then we are on our way up. So you got your 1, 2, and then we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to create our 3. And my last video I did, I assumed, or 2 videos ago, or maybe 3 videos ago, that 175 was going to be our micro 3, is what I had predicted. It ended up going to about $1.88, something like that, which was our 3. And now we have our 4. Potentially our 4 wave is either in, or we have an ABC. So there's 2 different scenarios that are possible here, and I'm going to dive into how I trade these 2 scenarios. All right, so this is on the minute chart, guys. So this is really getting into the weeds. If you're scalping or really looking to understand what the price action is happening on a micro time frame. I don't usually get into the micro timeframes a whole lot unless I'm unless the market's not doing a whole lot, or I have time to actually focus and trade, which I have been trading this. I bought this originally, I believe, somewhere on this 2-wave here, and then sold at 175. And I was looking for a deeper corrective wave. And this morning when I did an update video, we were literally right here at $1.51. My first buys were at $1.50, so I missed them by a penny. Since then, this thing has gone up about 30%. So this could be a WXY creating your micro 4. So this micro 4 could be complete here. And then we are on our 1, 2, 3, this white count here, a 1, 2, 3. And then we'll still have a 4 correction, and then our final 5 wave up to $2.30. So that's option 1, is that the correction, the micro 4 corrective wave is finished with this WXY. And we are impulsive again up to create our final 5th wave of our micro 1, of our macro 3. So again, that's the white count, the 1, 2, 3. We're at the top of our 3, and now we shall have a 4-wave correction down. So I would look to buy a 4-wave correction somewhere down around $1.75. And then I would be looking to ride that for, let's get our percentage on here. Let's say it at $1.75 up to where I think it could go at about 228. That's a 30% gain. I would be selling at 238 thereabouts, or I would probably start, averaging out around 220 or so, or I'd be paying attention to price action and what it looks like once we get up there. But that's just a rough idea of what I would be doing. So I would put my stop loss below that line right there at $1.70, because the other potential that we have right here, guys, is still a WXY being an A wave. So that means you got a 3-wave A down, and then a 3-wave B up, which could be this. So you've got your 1 that I just talked about could be an A wave. And then you've got a B wave here, which is technically your 2 of your 1. And then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up to be your C of your ABC of your B. So a 3-wave B structure could be an A, B, and then we would need a C down. So this right now could be an expanded flat, which would retrace below $1.51, which was our recent low, our A. And I would put that potentially bottoming about $1.40 or so, which lines up from a fib standpoint with the 1618 level from your A to your B, which is originally where I thought the C wave would correct to. So far, those fibs are lining up perfectly. So again, I will be buying around $1.75 in case this thing is impulsive, and in case this is a 4-wave. That 4-wave gets invalidated if price moves into wave 1 at about $1.68. Well, let's see here. That wick at about $1.68. So at $1.68, I would put my stop in just under $1.68. And the reason for that is because if it goes into that wave 1, then this count is invalidated. And then that means that this ABC is validated. So if I bought at $1.72, 73 or so, and I put my stop loss down under $1.68, say $1.67, that's a 3% loss. So if I buy at $1.72 and then put my stop loss at $1.67, I lose 3%. If that ends up being impulsive and we finish our 5, then I gain 30%. If I lose the 3%, then I'm out of the position. but then I'm waiting for my final C wave down, which ultimately is what I would want, because then from there, let's just assume it goes down to $1.40, and then it comes back up to my 228 target, which that target does not change. That's a 61% gain. So obviously I'd rather have a 61% gain versus a 30% gain. So that's exactly how I will be trading this, guys. Again, not to be repetitive, but I know it can maybe be a little confusing. Hopefully I'm explaining it well, but there's two scenarios that I see with this current chart. One being we are finished with the 4-wave correction, this orange count, meaning that we are impulsive and that we just finished our 3-wave. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have a 4 correction down. 4 correction down cannot go below $1.68, or else it invalidates that impulsive count, meaning that I would put a stop loss under $1.68. I would look to enter somewhere down here, anywhere from $1.75 all the way down to $1.70, and put my stop loss in. I would be selling at my target 5-wave for a 30%. If my stop hits, I would not re-enter this trade until this C wave, until the bottom of this C wave. So those are the two scenarios I see, guys. From a micro standpoint, that's how I'm playing this. And then once we get to our 1 wave, which I believe our 1 wave will be somewhere around 228. If I'm still in the trade, which I should be, I will sell there, and then I will look to buy back again on this 2-wave. And then I will ride that 2-wave up to where I see the 3-wave going, which is over $4. And then, obviously, guys, you guys can play the waves. If you guys learn how to trade this, you can, just like you did these, just like we did this microwave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure here. You catch that and you catch the 5, then there will be a similar structure that you can play. You can buy your 2 and then sell your 3 and then look to buy back on your 4 and sell your 5 and then look to buy back again on your, which that would be your 3-wave. You could buy back on your 4-wave. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. See y'all later.